represents black everything. Black Lives Matter means black education has to matter.
Okay, Khalil, so walk everybody through what happened today if they don't know what happened on the campus of Bowie.
Well, I'll probably say around 2:30ish. There was a picture circling on Instagram of a apparent swastika spray painted on one of the pillars at our Martin Luther King building here on campus. And as the picture started to get more popular, people became upset. A hashtag started to trend, BSU not afraid, to show that, like, these symbols are only symbols to us. We aren't moved or pushed away by symbols because we are aware of our own greatness. So.
And what was your personal reaction when you first saw it? Did you see it in person?
Actually, I didn't see it in person. Someone sent me a picture of it because I was just, where was I going? I was leaving. I was headed towards the student center. Okay. So when the picture was sent on Instagram, I saw it, and people showed me in group chats and everything, and the maintenance people took it down. But my initial reaction, I was hurt how ignorant people are, and I was angry. I wasn't angry in the sense of I want to go and fight or anything like that. I was angry in the sense of why are we still doing this?
Right. It's 2015.
I don't remember filling out a survey at birth if I wanted to be black or white or Asian or Arab or anything like that. So it's kind of like, how do people have the audacity to do something like this when them themselves didn't even choose their own races?
Right. I'll say I found out about it about 4 o'clock. I got a text message. Now I'm currently in New Jersey. I'm not in Maryland anymore, but I've got a text message around 4 o'clock, and I was like, well, what is that supposed to be? Because it wasn't even drawn right. And I'm like, is that the Nazi symbol? And my friend's like, yeah. And I'm just like, wow. And that same anger boiled in me. And it's not, like you said, it's not more so of that anger if you want to go smack somebody, but it's just like the audacity of you to deface my HBCU with ignorance. And then hearing that Howard may be getting threats as well, it's like, what year are we in? And so I want to ask you, for those who missed out on a rally tonight, can you kind of sum it up? What was the essence? What messages were being said tonight?
Basically, it's a nice rally. We heard a lot of self-empowerment. We heard a lot of motivational words to uplift the people. We heard a lot of words to not be afraid of this, because this is our home. And Miss Bowie State University, Carissa, she's told us that, whenever someone comes to vandalize a house or break into the house, when the thieves leave, the house is still standing. Right. Showing that they can try to deface it, but it won't shake our foundation as a university.
Absolutely. So what are your personal steps? Because I know a lot of us, we get on Instagram and, hashtag this, hashtag that, but what are our next steps, in your opinion, our physical next steps, that those who may be watching today who aren't able to make it up to Bowie to help rally, or, like me, I'm in Jersey, I'm trying to do my part throughout this show, but what piece of advice would you offer those people watching who want to get involved outside of social media?
The best thing I can tell people is to raise awareness and keep living your life. Because when you give ignorance attention, you give it power. Because I guarantee you, if the swastika was there and nobody paid it any mind, it will anger the person who drew it.
Right.
Rather, us rallying and getting all upset and all emotions is what they want. It's almost like they would turn on the news tonight and say, look what I've done.
Right.
I've succeeded.
Right.
So the best thing is that I can tell the world is to ignore the ignorance, but teach the ignorant. Mm-hmm. Because fighting the ignorant will only lead to nothing. Right. But teaching them will hopefully end it.
Right. And you brought up a good point that I want to touch on really quickly. I'm going to play devil's advocate for a moment because I know there are some people who may be thinking, you know, what you just said. Someone may have done this on purpose just to rile people up, and we're feeding into it. Some people may be saying, oh, there they go again. You know, something happened. They're going to rally. Watch me, you know, make them upset. And for me, I like to see both sides of the situation. Say if that is the case. Say if someone did this as just a joke, as a hoax, just to get people riled up. I personally think what you guys did, what Bowie State did by addressing it, that's what needs to be done because no matter if it was an actual joke or if it was an actual hate crime, whoever did it needs to know this is not going to be tolerated here. You're not scaring anybody. Yeah, you may have your 15 minutes on Fox 5 News chopping up the words, missing, you know, chopped and screwed. It's okay. But at the end of the day, look at us. We're united. We're stronger. Like, they tried to bring us down. So what would you say to that person who may be looking at their timeline or looking at this interview like, well, y'all just giving them what they want. You know, they just wanted attention. You're giving them attention.
I would say acting like the issue was not there does not solve the issue or let it persist.
Well said.
So it's almost like someone who has cancer. They can go to the doctor, find out they have cancer, and try to ignore it, but regardless, they're still going to die from the cancer. But rather, treating the cancer can help them live longer and live a better life. So even if they do die from this cancer, they die fighting it.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to wrap up this interview on that note because I like that analogy. And all of this stuff that's going on with just racism in America 2015, it is a cancer. And if you're watching, make sure you tune in to the other separate segments that we're going to have touching on this. I'm going to put together something that talks about what happened at the University of Missouri. I want to talk about that gentleman who was killed in Baltimore a few days, you know, defending his home from drug dealers. Black on white crime is no different than black on black crime. And, you know, I thank you so much for joining me today, taking the time out. I'm not going to misconstrue your words. I got you.
Thank you.
All right.